Hi and welcome. It's Lavender Sky Panther with you on a Monday, October 30th, 2023, for a little card reading today that comes to you with fun, loving, and happy spirit. And let's just see what presents in the cards today. Before we even get there, yes, it will be a selected card out of 3 groups. Before we even get there, though, the overwhelming message is, if you see the box in the center background, it's a little gift box. And so the message coming strongly for everyone is, you are the gift. I'm going to repeat that. You are the gift. Now, I'm chuckling a little bit because if you're aware of different languages, and actually depending on where this is reaching you, this may be your language, your home language. But I kind of laugh when I say gift, because in German, for example, gift means poison. So I'm not saying you are poison. We're going to say, okay, regalo in Spanish is gift. You are the present is maybe what I'll say. So that's just a little joke that's coming to me. But in the meantime, yes, I'm just going to use the word gift as in a present, as something special, not poison. Okay. I want to make that clear. All right. So beyond that, though, I also want to say another overwhelming message is to continue that cycle, keep the flow going of giving and receiving whenever you can. So I know a lot of us givers out there are so used to giving, and are horrible at receiving. You know that's you if this is clicking with you. If it's not you, great. You've learned a valuable lesson early on. But if you do have trouble with receiving, just remember, receive a gift with a gracious and happy, excited heart. And when you give generously with an overflowing, loving, and generous heart. And because if we break that cycle or the like the roadblock or the speed bump in it, it just really kind of ruins the harmonious flow for everyone. And just imagine if somebody said, you can't give anymore, nothing, not one thing. Imagine how you'd feel. And that is what we deny others when we just say, oh, no, I can't, I couldn't possibly, oh, no, I'm good. Just say, oh my goodness, thanks, I graciously receive it. So maybe practice that if that applies to you. So if it doesn't, well, we've just spent a whole good segment on something that doesn't apply to you, but maybe something here now will. So we're going to look at 3 possible groups to choose from. I'm going to pull out my little sassafras root pointer to assist me here today. So on the left here, this green cluster of gems depicted in this, these are stickers, by the way, is group 1. Okay. Maybe that's green tourmaline or some type of, I don't know what, you decide what that might mean to you as far as which crystal gem that is. Maybe that's a call to also go look up green gems of all kinds and see what meanings, spiritual meanings apply to you, right? And healing properties behind them, by the way. All of these have healing properties, okay, with their frequencies and colors and color therapy. So anyway, in the middle is like representing an amethyst, or maybe it's a certain kind of blue sapphire, or even a black opal or something, who knows. See again what that might apply to you, but that's group 2. And over here, group 3, this could be anything from clear quartz, just depicted with different kinds of shine. It could be angel aura quartz, I think it's called. Could be any number of things. And again, who knows? I guess it could even be moonstone or something. So again, that might be an invitation for you to kind of look up some of the spiritual meanings behind these crystals and also their healing properties. Okay, so that might already be a message for you. So that's on you guys to go check that out and go do some digging like you would to collect these gems, right? Oh, and that just reminds me too, I think in Native American cultures, this is just coming to me, I guess, because of this color turquoise up here in the corner also. Supposedly, just on some basic YouTube channels I've been looking around at with Native American teachings, I do refer to some in some of my very beginning videos. I give the .com links. But anyway, it just reminds me that supposedly you're just supposed to find turquoise on the ground, not dig it up, for it to be, fully meaningful and spiritually like the right thing to do and to work for you if you wear it. All right, there's just a little tidbit there. Okay, so now that you have looked at these 3 stickers, these crystal representations, go ahead and choose one. And we're going to get into it, okay? So here I'll show you also, if you're on the fence deciding, I'll give you one more chance. Just say that with in fun-loving spirit. It doesn't matter. So we're going to line the green crystal with this deck, this other deck, and I'll put the names in the description box below. is this crystal, okay? And then let's put this purple or blue, however you want to take it. I take it as purple with this deck over here. Okay, so now decide, and we're going to get into it right now. All right, hi, Group 1, and you have the Sufi Wisdom deck. What I'm going to do, just deciding, if you've watched any of my shows here prior with my card readings, I don't use a tripod. So first of all, pardon if it gets a little motion sick, if I'm a little shaky on the camera as I move things about. That's just how I like to do it. So that's up first up. So that means that I usually pre-shuffle, or I just do the messy random approach. And today is calling for the messy random draw. So we're going to start just with one, I think, today, unless I am led to do something else. So here we've spread them out. As I always like to say, you have a look too. I'm just looking through the viewfinder, and I think I'm going to not spread it further and go with this one. Okay, so this is going to be your opening message, which is really kind of wild because we just had this card in a previous reading, but there's a reason for everything. So I'm going to actually I'm going to set it up in front of this package here so we can read it. Okay. Now you might want to go see, I think it literally was the previous reading, if my memory serves, but it might not. It was one of the last two. Anyway, have a look here. It's a beautiful card. Maybe it's coming back out because it's just so darn beautiful. The message for you is engage, trust. Now, I'll read it slightly differently. I don't want to repeat the exact things of the previous reading because that's not the point of drawing cards with new energies each time. And actually, I can already see why, because I did not even notice. Looks like we have a couple of other butterflies. Hang on, I'm getting my pointer. If I don't destroy the whole setting here. We have a butterfly in the back, which is purple, and one in the front, which is kind of this lime green. And it's funny because what I'm getting right away, engage, trust, and just focusing on the bottom part of this card for now, is who are we engaging trust in? Is it trust in ourselves? Is it trust, like, this cliche, this phrase is overused, but trust the process? What is the process? It's a process of this, caterpillar having completely liquefied and then gone into a chrysalis and turned into this and broken out, busted out as this amazing butterfly, right? So maybe it's just entrusting the process that's in place, that we can't help but eventually get to a point where we spread our wings and fly. And no matter what hardships we're going through, this is the ultimate goal. Even if you look at someone's life and say, oh, wow, that was unfortunate. That person just had a rough life from beginning to end. Was there nothing redeeming in it? Well, I'm here to tell you that at the very end of any life here, for now, I'll just say human life, you absolutely do fly. Your spirit goes on. And I will tell you, it goes on to that higher, best place there is. From there, where do you go? Well, that we could talk about for quite a long time. But that initial crossing over, transitioning, unless you have it in your mind that you're going to go somewhere else, predetermined, or if you're in a very, very dark place and can't get out of it, then you might be trapped in between two worlds. This card is actually showing this butterfly is more in the earthly realm. You notice it's not flying around up here. They're reserving that on this card to the stars and the celestial. Like I'm saying, this is like a pattern, like a tapestry pattern up there, but to me it's representing the stars and the heavens, in here too. So anyway, this butterfly isn't there yet, so this butterfly's on the ground. So here it's just for a call for us to trust the process, that no matter what, there are better things that are ahead and far beyond us. And at a certain point, we all spread our wings and fly. So if this is this card is catching you in a moment where you're like, wow, nothing looks good, man, I'm in the mud. Forget about this like little shrubbery with, it seems like some things are maybe going on that might be good in there, but boy, where I'm at, it's just thorns. Well, just know that it's temporary. It might be, a standstill, but that is just temporary. And if you know that you can have infinite patience to wait out even the worst of times, tap into that infinite patience and trust. Keep going. Just keep going. Sometimes we can walk fast through it. Sometimes we can only fall to our knees and crawl. Sometimes we can only lay on our belly and just wriggle, like an earthworm forward. And sometimes we just have to give up and collapse. Any of those is just temporary until we can get back up, crawl, walk, run, and ultimately fly when we wish at times of our choosing. There's a lot of value in the dirt. There's a lot of value when you hit the floor on that moment where it just seems like you got nothing left to give. There is value even in that. And it's a time just to trust in those moments and also surrender. Imagine if you're this butterfly and that's your body in the center, and your arms, you just throw them up saying, I don't know what more to do. I fully surrender. I throw my hands up in complete surrender to something far greater than I could possibly comprehend right now in this physical form. Okay. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this. I might be hitting somebody who is, this might be reaching somebody who is literally, kind of in the throes of the darkness or in the dumps. So please, if you are, just trust. Know others, complete strangers. Send out their love and best wishes for you to rise up again. And I also want to interpret this, if that's not you, as this is the representation, say, of God, or again, so many people believe in slightly different things, but it's all the same thing if you're talking about something loving, at least in my book. Anyway, let's just say this is God, a depiction, a representation of God here present. Then these are the little offspring or offshoots of God, right? So that's very much like God is the ultimate loving light, and big ball of beautiful light. And then this is us, the little sparks off of that light, right? And so again, we just have to trust that we are a part of something bigger, directly connected to something far greater and more beautiful. Look at these expansive wings. And that we all eventually will grow into this form as well and are able to choose, once we can master that, any form we like. All right. So anyway, that's all I'm getting strongly on this card. I'm not going to go up to the upper half because I really spent, I think, more time on the upper half in a previous reading. And for whatever reason, this is what matters to me. So I'm just going to leave this as kind of a one card draw for each group. That's what I'm strongly feeling. But if you want to stick around through the others, feel free, or jump to the end. I am going to pull some bonus cards from bonus cards, and in here we have some charms to pull. Okay, so stick around if you like. And otherwise, you know what? I hope you can feel it. I'm closing my eyes and putting my hand to my heart, and I'm just sending you all the love there is, the infinite love of the galaxies and far, far beyond. It just goes out forever. Feel it and know it. You are not alone. We've got companion butterflies here, right? Companion butterflies. You came here and are here for a reason, and it is beautiful. And even if it doesn't feel like it, you will get there. Those wings will open. Okay? All right. We're going to go on to group 2 now, and I wish you all the best. All right, group 2, here we go. This is your deck. As I explained with group 1, if you haven't seen any of my previous shows, I like to hold the camera and move it around. I don't like to have it fixed on a tripod. And so that means I have to either pre-shuffle or do what I'm going to do right now and just pick up the deck and kind of do a messy, what I call like just a messy spread. So hold on, bear with me. The camera might be a little shaky. Hopefully that doesn't bother you too much. But anyway, here we go. So what I like to do then is spread them out or give you a little look at it as well, since I'm holding the camera. Pan around, see which card you would go for. I think I'm drawn over to this one, so hang on with me 1 second. Okay, we've had this in a previous reading, a little bit further back. I'm going to prop it up against this little gift box here. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so we have number 4, and it just says swords, so 4 of swords. Look how shiny they are and sparkly in this winter sun, or yeah, still winter, looks like, right? Well, fall heading into winter, maybe, depending where this groundhog is sitting, right? All right, so just taking a look at it with you. Now, since I did interpret more about the groundhog last time, I am guided more just to talk about the upper half of this card. For whatever reason, in the first card I pulled for group 1, I just focused on the bottom half. So this is just going to be a 1 card draw today. And then I have some bonus cards for the end if you want to stick around, and also some charms we're going to pull from this little sound bowl after. Okay. Anyway, we've got the Four of Swords, and what's catching me on this card is just how sparkly, how shiny they are, in that group of four. So let me get my pointer out. Yeah, so this is just reminding me almost of four people. Maybe you already know if you're, I feel like this is you on the left side. So the one that's most facing us, and presenting itself. So what I like with the word present, I talked earlier in the intro about present, about this, like you are the gift, you are the present. And I love when you break it down, it's pre-sent, so we all are pre-sent from a higher realm, I believe, from the source, the biggest light there is. And these little sparkles represent that we're just sparks off of that, bigger source light. Call it God, love, like I say, Buddha, Allah, Jesus, whatever does it for you. If it's of love and pure loving intention, that's the same thing in my book as God. But again, maybe you're more comfortable with universe or other things, or just no label. It's fine, but you get what I'm talking about. So here we've got four. I believe, to me, this is just pulling like that is you. You are standing and you are ready to engage and present yourself out into the world. Now, these are turning little topsy-turvy. They're maybe not quite ready. Maybe these are steps and stages where you were at until you got to this, where you feel comfortable and in balance and at home with just standing there and shining out all you are. Or these could be like three friends or family members in your life. You'll know if a trio of people in your circle mean anything to you. There are others of us that on the spiritual journey really have like no one that would represent those others. So that's what I'm saying. It's either you in the various stages that you've gone through to get here, where you feel comfortable in your own skin and ready to shine out all of who you are without pretending to be any other role. Or this might be people who are close to you and within your circle. And this might be, if you're on the spiritual journey, that they're still there, but you're very much off, on your own page here on the left side in this state of owning and knowing who you are. And the other people might not quite get you, but they haven't left your picture. They're still very much there. Or if that doesn't apply to you, these could just be actually maybe three friends or three animals. We are in a woodland setting. Something of three that is going to come along your way. Maybe these even represent three presents, that will start to just show up on your doorstep that you didn't even know were coming. So there are many ways to interpret this. Maybe there's yet, and I also see the echo of three of the trees in the background. I'm counting these as three trees. Something about the number threes might be important for you coming up. Now, it is a divine number, as we know anyway. Maybe you'll start to see, 333s on the clock. There's so many, or 333s on license plates or something when you're going about. Maybe you'll see triplets. You never see triplets anywhere. And all of a sudden, whether they're babies or full grown, you see some triplets. But whatever the case, I'll just leave it at that. I think three is featuring prominent in your card today, even though it says four. Isn't that funny? Because you're the fourth, or you're the first, however you want to look at it, right? Let's see what else, if there's anything else that wants to come through. Also, again, if we use these as like a personification of actual people, you are the one that anchors the entire scene. You're down in the rock. Not that they aren't either, but you're the one that takes that lead and really anchors down in deeper, than the rest. I know it shows them all like at the same even thing, but how do we know? This could be a really long sword and these could be shorter swords, right? So that's another message. We don't know what's just below the surface. That means, we can't be quick to judge others. We don't know what they've gone through, and not to judge ourselves either. There's a lot that's hidden to us all. There's a lot of facets. The sword has to have a slight bit of facets to make that thing shine. And if it has no facets and it's just angled a certain way, it might not shine at all, like this one, right? So in this picture too, I take it like you're a leader, maybe a leader in on the spiritual path. Maybe none of the others are quite there yet. I keep defaulting back to that. So if this doesn't apply to you, take from the overall reading what you will, or maybe choose a different group today, or just skip ahead to the bonus cards at the end and the bonus charms I'm going to pull. But anyway, I feel like you're a leader, so your sparkle is up there, And I feel like this third or second person is starting to kind of get it, like the light's starting to turn on a little bit. That might be even an indication that you might want to take on a little mentor or help teach where you can, whether officially or unofficially. Like if there's someone in your neighborhood, that could use an influence like you and is seeking out things in the spiritual world, maybe can just kind of dish out some little wisdoms you have here and there. Or if you have, get your hands on like an extra crystal, maybe, give it to that person so that they start to open up and be more curious about the spiritual world. Anyway, that's just something coming to me as well. But whatever the case, I think that's about it. There's a little bit more I could go on about, but this whole spread today is just going to be one card for each person. I just decided as I started pulling, and then we'll get into some of the bonus stuff. All right, so anyway, that's it for now, group 2, and we'll move on. Here we go, group 3. This is your pile, and actually your gem got buried here. All right, so as I explained with the other groups, if you're not familiar with my channel and this is the first card reading you're coming to, I hold the camera with my hand. I don't have a tripod, so that means I have to either pre-shuffle cards or just do what I'm going to do right now and just kind of do a messy, random, kind of spread and draw from it. So get ready. Hang on 1 second, and I'm looking through the viewfinder, so I'll come back to you in 1 second. Here we go. So I just spread them across the table. Let me just kind of, maybe distribute them a little bit more. Okay, and then what I do is just, whoops, we have a gap. Then I just come across and I just say, hey, which card would you choose if you were me, right? Chances are I'm going to pick a different card than you would, but okay, it's all right. For example, I am thinking this one, okay? And I'm going to put this up by the little gift box here. All right, let's see what you have. Vacuum away fear. If that's not a great daily message, I don't know what is. How often do we even just have a moment in the day where we got to go, nope, don't let that fear in. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. We have a caduceus symbol, which is the 2 serpents around a pole. Looks like Egyptian wings of some type. Okay, so right away, kind of have like a Mercury depiction of the god Mercury vibe, messenger. The caduceus is taken by the medical groups to be a symbol of healing. I have other thoughts on that, and I'm not a fan of the caduceus for a few reasons. But I did hear an interesting interpretation just recently. If you go to the podcast, there's also a YouTube channel, just so you can look there and then get to the podcast. But the podcast is crrow777radio.com, and he has some interesting podcasts with sessions that are free for the first hour, and then if you want to join, I think it's like, I don't know, it's under $10 a month. You can get all the second hours for free. Anyway, I'm talking about that because his most recent one had a guest on, and they were talking about the symbolism. Sorry, I got to get my sassafras root pointer here. The symbolism of the caduceus, and how interesting on their interpretation is how this pole could be the axis pole, the Earth's axis, and that the thing on the top could be a representation of the North Star, at the North Pole. Anyway, very interesting. If you want to go check that out, that's just coming to me right now because it's fresh on my mind. All right, so like the other two groups, I focused either only on the bottom half of the card or the top half of the card. So let's see what we get here. But first, I need to read you the actual message. So it says, call upon Archangels Michael and Raphael to lift fear-based energy from you, your surroundings, this situation, and everyone involved. And I'm just going to kind of laugh because if you've watched my previous card readings, I'm not a huge fan of doing the old title of archangels and putting any one above the other. I just can't do it. But, we know that Michael, if you found this channel, you probably already know, Michael is the one who's standing there, bold and fierce with that sword drawn up in the air and cuts cords, cuts whatever he needs to, if you call him in for strength and power. And Raphael is known as the healer, correct? So anyway, I just like keeping the power within and among myself personally. I don't tend to call in archangels. Nothing against them. If that works for you, then do it. Absolutely. For me, though, I like to tap in and align with my own inner power. Like this rod here. To me, that's, if anything, that the top of that rod is the heart space, and that shining out part. Here they're implying that it would be the crown chakra. For me, I just feel like the biggest glow is right in here in the heart space. To me, it's not even at the crown. So to me, this is a depiction of, if you put this big glow at the heart space, and then the rod is the person. So I'm just saying, I like to imagine myself more like that, and then I just call it in and tap in from right here. Hey, bring the protection, bring the healing. And then other times I've done an exercise for healing, which absolutely worked. I had a miracle healing. I closed my eyes and I imagined white divine magic hands, white healing divine light coming through my body, clearing out my lungs. This is when I was told I wasn't going to live to the next day, many, many years ago, after a case of severe pneumonia. And anyway, I had sign of after effects that just would never go away. And so I did this little exercise, and the very next day, actually the very moment that I imagined these divine white healing hands coming through my body and just clearing away the junk completely, it was an instantaneous healing. So I haven't been able to repeat it like that, but I'm just saying it is possible. So if you feel you need to, I don't want to say give your power away, but, channel or use your power in a different way to call others that you believe are your team or your guardian angelics to come help you out, absolutely fine. Okay. But if you can get into the space where you know that you're powerful enough to heal yourself, and if you feel you can't do it, then call in, the ultimate power there is to come in and heal you direct. Feel free to play around with that as well. It can't hurt, only help. Okay. So anyway, let's just look here one more time. All right. The point is, though, lifting fear-based energies. So again, you don't even have to do any of that. There's so many techniques to not only vacuum away fear, I would say blast away fear. So just remember, if you are light, and that's how I see it, we're each light. That's why I feel there's no face of God. It's just that blast of light, which is the light and love all within one. It's more of a feeling than looking at a picture. And that's why it's neither feminine nor masculine. It's all of it, But anyway, for me, it's blasting away fear. So I imagine just that this, again, for me, it's forget this kind of aura around the head. To me, it's all right here. Imagine this whole huge sun of, like the sunshine, located right here. And it just blasts out when you walk into a room or you walk into an environment or whatever. To me, if you have that intention, like I'm just blasting away anything out of my field with this beautiful light, so that darkness has no choice but to instantly vaporize or vanquish or run and hide out of my presence. That you just like sweep through. You can be walking through a hospital, a grocery store, doesn't matter. You're on the street, you get caught at a time when you are like walking home. Or going from a bus stop or from a car to wherever, or you're just walking and it starts to suddenly get dark and you feel caught unawares and you don't feel so safe. While you're walking, just imagine this light is just blasting out all around you and you are absolutely protected and nothing can even touch you. It's like they're so blinded they won't even be able to see you. Okay. That's just another way to, blast away fear, and be fearless. And just connect in with that power that we all have to do that. I have been in situations like that. I'm just saying, it's coming to me now to give you this one example, and I'll wrap it up, where I was at a gas station and I realized, oh, you know what? I should have listened to my intuition. Something did vaguely say, don't do it. And I was of the mind where, nope, forget that. I'm going to go whenever I want. I'm not going to let the hour of the evening or anything determine when I can or cannot do something basic that I want to do, because I did not want to get gas for the car the next morning. And I won't go into too much detail, but it was a very powerful, very strong, very uplifting story about blasting away fear. But I'll suffice it to say that somebody pulled up and an unsavory character and did intend harm, actually. And something, though, listening to my intuition, I was guided to, turn around, move around my car and I was already pumping the gas and, face this person instead of having them give an opportunity to come up behind me. I was absolutely led to do that. I was not led to get in the car fearfully and drive off fast, which was interesting. I was strongly led to say, nope, you're going to face this character. Now, keep in mind, this character was a good foot taller than me and could have done a lot of harm, was male, and may have also been on drugs, which, amp up rage. But something just said, no, you hold your ground, you stand your territory, and like wait for it. So when the other person, very, very low vibed, up to really, I could tell wanted to do some harm. He and I locked eyes though, and in that instant, I grew to like 10 feet tall, and I had the power of God flowing through me directly. And I stared him down, did not flinch, and just telepathically said, don't you even try it. I will come and I will do whatever I have to do, because if it's between the two of us, I will remain standing, not you. I won't go into graphic speech of what I really said, but it was fierce, just suffice it to say. So also, this example is coming up to show that, okay, yes, we talk about loving light, love and light. I like saying loving light. We have times where we're embodying this loving light and spreading out good. But just remember that loving light can also turn into like a lightning. This is a lightning rod giving you all the power to just take that and then, blast it back out to keep yourself safe, because we have a right to defend ourselves and actually to blast away any darkness before it even has a chance to do any harm. Okay, I don't know why, but I was very specifically led to tell you that example. It would be fun to go into detail. Maybe I will one day, but not now. All right, so I am going to get to some bonus cards here. And that's where we're going to go. And then also to some little charm selection if you want to hang around, stick around. And otherwise, I wish you all the best. Till next time. All right. Okay, everybody, now we are going to head over to our bonus cards. And I'm just going to pick one of each, so bear with me. I'm just going to do kind of like the little messy spread thing again, if you give me a second. And we'll just pick one of each, and then we'll move to some charms for fun, just feeling it. All right, that is an absolute messy spread. See which one you would go for, which one you would select. I think I'm going to go for this one over here this time. I'm going to put it up by the, if I can. I'm trying to do this through the viewfinder. It's a little weird. All right, so here we go. This is from the, what is it called? The Enchanted Art Oracle deck. And we have a beautiful scene. And let's just pan down. When in doubt, ask for guidance. Okay. I think it's safe to say we all have doubts at one time or the other. Absolutely. What I like that she's done, though, is she's got her hand kind of holding on a lyre. So, maybe she starts playing music or singing or humming to get herself into a more positive state to automatically and naturally rid that doubt, right? She's also looking out into, she's kind of like doing an open-eyed meditation, is what I'd say. Hang on. Open-eyed meditation, presumably out over the ocean. She seems to be at a rock, with beach and stuff below her, this fairy. And she seems to be hopeful looking out, or in a state of waiting for something to come. So, she's maybe waiting for that guidance. Maybe there's a ship out to sea and it comes to shore, and that gives her some clues, to what she's looking for. Or she's just looking way out into space and just kind of connecting in a meditative state. She's got this, it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to have to look away for a second, guys. Hold on. I got to look at this off the viewfinder. You know what? My eyes are not focusing on it. If it's not exactly what it is, it's how I'm going to interpret it right now. Give me a second. Let me reposition that. Okay, here we go. I think that's like a little oil lamp or something, if I have that right. It looks like it to me. I got like one from antiquity. Anyway, she's got the light on, right? There's very popular phrase like, leave the light on. If you leave the light on for me. I know of some specific examples where there's been a married couple, and the man got really upset coming home because the light was never, like the front porch light was never left on for him, that type of thing. So these things just come into mind. Maybe that's a thing like make sure you keep a light on for somebody, you know, kind of for their own safety, and that they know where they're headed to. And I've done that too. I've driven up to a house, and when it's in complete darkness, when the floodlights aren't on or a porch light, you really, you know, you can kind of know your way from memory if it's your own dwelling, but it's still, it can be a little bit challenging to make your way, and like even just get a key out and find the keyhole, right? So there are a lot of reasons why keeping a light on can help remove doubt um, and insecurity, even if it's just one little light like that, right? And even if her light were out, you know, and it's also kind of um, on there to show that she is there, she's present, and you know, even if the lights are coming from the stars beyond, you know, just one little light, like they say, just one matchstick, you know, lit, dispels all darkness in a room, you know. So it doesn't have to shine like a stadium light or a torch, a full-on torch. It can just be this little glow, right, to remind that we can remove all doubt very quickly, just by even trying to think a little bit positive. And then if we want to remove even more, we ask for guidance. Now, we can ask a person that we know. We can schedule appointments with people that might be able to help. Or we can also just ask, like she's doing in meditation and connecting in with her heart space, and just saying, you know, hey, God, or whatever the higher, you know, being of your understanding is, you know, I could use some help. Either help me now, help me in my dream state, or send me whoever I need, give me the people, places, and things on my path that are needed, that I need in this moment to help clear out the doubts. Okay? All right, that's it for now on that card. Hopefully that made some kind of sense in there. And here, let's draw another bonus card here, and then we'll go to some charms. We'll pull some bonus charms this time for the first time on this channel. All right, so give me a moment. These do not spread in a fun way. Maybe it's fun for them to jump around. All right, so, all right, which one would you pull? I'm going to kind of pass maybe some of the obvious ones. I'm going to go over here and take this one, and let me reshuffle this. Okay, so what the heck do we have here? So now, this says officer. Okay. He's got his one glove on, one glove off. He's standing pretty solid. He's outside. He's got a monocle on the right over his right eye. Give me a moment here. And I'm trying to get his facial expression. He seems bored out of his gourd, so to speak, like bored out of his mind. He's also, I don't know why this is coming to me, he's got to watch it, because when you stand like this with your knees locked, hopefully he has a little flex in the knee. If you don't, and you're out on a clear day and it's hot, and especially when you're dressed up like this with a hat on where the heat normally would escape, it can't. With gloves on, it can't escape out that way. So he's like really ripe and ready and set up to pass out. And what happens is, if this is the human form standing up straight, you pass out straight down. I've seen it happen out in the field. So anyway, I don't know why that's coming to me, but it's a message to not be so rigid in life. Okay, here we have a choice. We can be all dressed up, you know, to the nines here, all official, really way too serious, or we can be loose like the trees, you know, and be very organic. Like if he would just like undo a couple of the buttons there, undo the sash or the belt, you know, take off that other glove, kick off the shoes and socks, take the hat off, he can breathe again, right? It's like this moment that he's so stiff and so following the rules and so used to following the lines like a duck in a row and not ever putting one foot out of that line, that the life has become stagnant and boring, right? So maybe this is just a little call to loosen up a bit. You know, you can still be a leader and define what that is, you know. Now, if you love doing this, if you love the uniform and the pomp and circumstance and, you know, even the little band that comes, marching band that comes with this, okay, great. But there's also time just to let loose and relax. And so if you're too much in one way or too much following the rules and never questioning anything, things get pretty darn boring. Okay, that's all I'm getting for there. So those were two little bonus messages. Now let's get to the fun part with the charms. I just threw them in a singing bowl here, and I even just threw them in a singing bowl, and then I threw the top from a candle nearby on top. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to give you a preview, and you can't see it. You'll just have to trust me. I am going to look the other way as I mix them around. I'm not looking. This is a matter of trust. Like I think group 1, right? Trust. All right, so I am not looking, I promise, and I'm having no thoughts in my head about what I might pull. So here, I'm just, all right, oh, that's weird. Okay, I'm just saying it's weird. Oh, and here, let me put this down. Okay, just saying it's weird because there's a lot of different kind of gems, and these just happen to be similar kinds. So you have like this translucent, but it has a little bit of purplish color, so maybe that's already something for you. Like a lavender color. And then, so we have like this race car, right? And then we have a space shuttle. So that's fun. And you know what? I think, and it's also translucent, but more of a rose quartz kind of color. So if we equated these two gemstones, getting back to the beginning of the very reading with these stickers, this would be amethyst and this would be rose quartz. Okay, now I'm going to just close my eyes again. Again, have the trust, friends. And I'm just going to pull whatever first feels like it to come into my hand. Because I feel like we need a balance of 3. And here we have this little rabbit. Although compared to these other things, that's a huge, huge rabbit, right? All right, so don't look at the scale of these things. So let's just look at that. A race car, a space shuttle, and a rabbit. Well, right away, here's the message. Get ready for it. Wait for it. I am just getting something about speed, something about going fast, because we've got like this GT style race car. We have, space shuttle, which obviously goes really fast. And in our lovely little lore and stories that we have learned as little kids, we'd all learned about the tortoise and the hare, right? And that the rabbit was fast, right? We won't worry about the part where he got distracted and then lost the race. But this isn't about winning the race. This is just about speed and something happening fast. So I'm going to leave this up to you, actually, for your interpretation further. Is this for you just more about the colors? Because we've got pink echoing in here. We got 2 pinks, like the rose quartz or amethyst, with the purple. Actually, I don't know why this is coming to me, but amethyst is supposed to be really good to have it around if you are prone to getting drunk. I hope that's not you. Or if you do once in a while, maybe consider, backing off of that a bit. Just because these days we are moving, as we move to the higher vibration, and they say the veil is thinning, and there's a lot of things happening on the planet where it's important to be in a good state, a pure and clean state, if you can be. That's all I'll say. I'm not preaching here, but I'm just saying, ideally, if you can, keep command over your body temple, don't let any, things that'll bring it down or toxify it enter, because we're at a point where you could just think of something and it might manifest pretty quickly. And even if you are in a lower state, you don't want to attract, further other lower things. And another example with this car, and also maybe being on substances where you're not in your right mind, so to speak, or in your body, what you do is open up on the spiritual realm a whole pathway for kind of evil or less than things to jump in your car, so to speak, kick you over to the passenger seat and start driving it. That car meaning your vessel, your body. So you are then no longer in command, fully in command of your body. Back to the officer, that kind of actually ties in with that bonus card. You are no longer in command of your very own being when you let that happen. So just something to consider, a little friendly, food for thought. Take it or toss it. And then this, of course, represents the ability to, this is good debate with this thing, but let's just take it at face value. It's the ability to go into space, or at least low Earth orbit. That I believe for sure can happen with the space shuttle. Anyway, maybe this is the message to jet off to somewhere where you normally wouldn't go. Again, like take yourself and travel off the beaten path a bit. See what you can discover. And then with the rabbit, the other meanings for the rabbit, aside from just traveling fast, is, of course, also maybe bringing you a little extra luck. So if you can, stay on a good path for yourself and keep things kind of clean so you don't invite some darkness, you can bring a lot of luck into your life. So that's all I'm getting for right now. I hope something in here was fun and at least useful, or just good for all of you out there today. And until next time, I wish you tremendous peace and love. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.